Liverpool fans, this is huge. Arne Slot breaks his silence on shock Xabi Alonso rumors, Marc Guehi slips away to Man City, and Burnley face a nightmare injury crisis. Subscribe now for daily Liverpool breaking news you won't get anywhere else.
News headline: Arne Slot responds to surprise question after Xabi Alonso firing and Liverpool rumors. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has addressed recent managerial departures at Chelsea, Manchester United, and Real Madrid, admitting he has no clue whether there has been a change in approach. Liverpool manager Arne Slot doesn't believe that the recent dismissals at Chelsea, Manchester United, and Real Madrid suggest a decrease in power for managers and head coaches in today's game. Amidst a flurry of managerial changes at the top tier, Enzo Maresca was shown the door at Chelsea on New Year's Day, followed by Ruben Amorim's departure from Manchester United after reportedly clashing with Director of Football Jason Wilcox. Both managers had only taken up their posts in 2024. Xabi Alonso parted ways with Real Madrid on Monday, officially by mutual consent, following a 3-2 defeat to Barcelona in the Supercopa the previous evening, ending his tenure in the Spanish capital after just 7 months. Another ex-Liverpool player, Alvaro Arbeloa, has now assumed temporary control of the 15-time European champions. Slot himself has faced speculation over his future this season, particularly during a rough patch in late November when his Red side suffered 9 losses in 12 matches. However, the Premier League title-winning manager isn't convinced that the events at Chelsea, United, and Madrid signify a broader trend in the upper echelons of the sport. Is it a change compared to 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago? I don't actually know, Slot commented, as per the Liverpool Echo. I can only speak for myself. I have worked for 3 years at my first club, should have worked 4 years at my second club, worked 3 years at my third club, and now here for 1.5 years. The clubs you are mentioning, we know with one of these clubs what kind of history they have. So I don't know if it has changed. I see some managers working a long time at a club, and one of our rivals has a manager, Pep Guardiola, at Manchester City, who has been working for a long time. Mikel Arteta has been working for a long time at Arsenal. I think there will always be examples of managers who work a long time at a club and clubs where managers don't work for a long time. But Carlo Ancelotti was a long time at Real Madrid? I have no clue if it is because of the sporting director model. I simply have no clue as to whether that has anything to do with it. It might, but you surprised me with this question. I haven't thought about that. Slot added, in England there is a manager and head coach, and in other countries it is usually a head coach. Like I said, Ancelotti worked for a long time at Madrid and other managers did as well. This is not common for Real Madrid that a manager is sacked, or whatever word you want to use, that a manager is sacked so early in his career. Let's see if this is constantly going to happen, but I think there are other examples as well.
News headline: Liverpool make Marc Guehi Gazump decision as Man City plans second defensive blow. Liverpool have decided whether or not they will make a late attempt to convince Marc Guehi to move to Anfield despite a deal being agreed with Manchester City, according to a reliable source, as another report claims that the citizens could try to sign Joel Ordonez. After missing out on the signing of Guehi from Crystal Palace on the final day of the 2025 summer transfer window, Liverpool were confident of getting a deal done for the England international in 2026. With Guehi out of contract at Palace at the end of the season, the defending Premier League champions were confident of securing his services. However, it is Manchester City who have done a deal for Guehi, and that too for a bargain fee of just £20 million, €23 million, $26.7 million, with sources telling Team Talk's transfer correspondent Graham Bailey that the defender will earn £300,000 per week at the Etihad Stadium. It will come as a surprise to Liverpool fans that the club's owners, Fenway Sports Group (FSG), did not make a bid for Guehi this month. The Liverpool Echo's chief Liverpool FC writer Ian Doyle has claimed that the defending Premier League champions did not see Guehi as a market opportunity and have no plans to make a late bid to gazump Man City. The report in the Liverpool Echo stated, "The Echo understands Liverpool do not regard signing Guehi this month as a market opportunity compared to last September and this coming summer, and are thus unlikely to change their stance over resisting a late effort to gazump City." Man City planned Joel Ordonez move. As Man City prepare to welcome Guehi to the Etihad Stadium, Pep Guardiola's are also said to be keen on a deal for Joel Ordóñez. Our transfer correspondent, Graham Bailey, reported on January 2nd that Liverpool have been impressed with Ordóñez after following him closely for more than 12 months. Sources have told us that Club Brugge are willing to sell the 21-year-old Ecuador international defender for £40 million, €46 million, $53.4 million. While Liverpool are not in talks for the youngster despite their interest, a report has claimed that Man City are planning to make a move. According to Fichajes, which is highly speculative, Man City are planning to make an offer of between €3 million and €4 million, up to £3.5 million, $4.6 million, to Ordóñez as salary per year. Man City are said to value the defender's impressive stride and aggressiveness in one-on-one duels. With Man City now set to complete a deal for Guehi, it remains to be seen if the citizens would go for Ordóñez too. Liverpool face Sandro Tonali competition. Elsewhere, Liverpool are not alone in their admiration of Newcastle United midfielder Sandro Tonali. While there have been links between Liverpool and Tonali, sources have told us that a return to Italy could be on the cards. Our transfer insider, Dean Jones, has reported that Newcastle will not sell Tonali in the January transfer window. However, Juventus want to sign the Italy international winger and would move for the former AC Milan star at the end of the season should they find out that he wants to leave Newcastle. The feeling back in Italy is that Tonali would prefer to move back to his homeland should he leave Newcastle.
News headline: Burnley could have 8 players missing versus Liverpool as Scott Parker makes a frustrating admission. Liverpool hosts relegation-threatened Burnley in the Premier League this weekend, with Scott Parker facing a long injury list as he keeps his fingers crossed over 2 players. Burnley could find itself battling with a long injury list as Liverpool hosts the relegation-threatened side this weekend. The Reds will be aiming to strengthen their hold on the top 4, having gone unbeaten in their last 9 outings in the Premier League and 11 across all competitions. After 3 straight draws in the league, though, Arne Slot will be eager to get back to winning ways. Liverpool has 4 players confirmed to be out for Saturday's game, including Mohamed Salah, who remains away at the Africa Cup of Nations despite Egypt's defeat to Senegal on Wednesday. Saturday's visitors, though, could have twice as many missing. Burnley has been hit by the news that attacking midfielder Mike Trésor is set to face a number of weeks on the sidelines with an ankle injury. The 26-year-old picked up a knock within minutes of coming off the bench during the recent defeat to Newcastle. "Really frustrating," Parker admitted when speaking to reporters on Thursday. "It's been a long road for Mikey for many reasons. Partly, Mikey can be accountable for. I've said it to you numerous times since coming in here. After a sticky bit at the start of the season, he's come in and has been really incredible in terms of everything he's done. We've seen his quality. He's got himself into an unbelievable position where he's on the bench, and he's now coming into games. He's edging closer to maybe starting games, but he's been hit with this injury, which is not ideal, of course not, but it's football sometimes, and it's professional sport." Zian Fleming remains out, with Parker revealing the forward could return in Burnley's upcoming game against Tottenham. Meanwhile, Jordan Bayer, Connor Roberts, Josh Cullen, and Zeki Amdouni are all long-term absentees. The visitors could have centre-back Joe Warrow back this weekend, though, while forward Lyle Foster is back in training. Parker is set to make a call on the former's involvement ahead of the game, while he admitted the latter is still not probably at 100% after missing the FA Cup tie against Millwall through illness. Burnley will be looking to gain some revenge this weekend after Liverpool's dramatic win at Turf Moor earlier in the season. A stoppage-time penalty from Salah proved to be the difference after a handball from Hannibal Majbri. It was a painful defeat at Liverpool at Turf Moor earlier in the season. There were a few results in that early part of the season that hurt, Parker admitted. "We don't look back, though. We only look forwards. We took massive positives from that performance, and those can stand us in good stead for this weekend at Anfield."
News headline: Arne Slot set Liverpool sack deadline with 2 stars keen on Xabi Alonso appointment. Arne Slot has until the summer to save his job as Liverpool manager, while 2 players will be hoping Xabi Alonso takes over, according to an ex-Anfield star. Slot has come under pressure this season as Liverpool have failed to defend their Premier League title. They sit in 4th place, 14 points behind leaders Arsenal. Liverpool can still qualify for the Champions League, while they also sit ninth in this season's version of the competition. But much more was expected of Slot after he was backed with over £440 million worth of signings last summer. Speculation Liverpool could sack Slot has reignited after Real Madrid axed Alonso on Monday. Liverpool pursued Alonso in 2024, but he opted to stay at Bayer Leverkusen for another season, forcing the Reds to pivot toward Slot. Jermaine Pennant has heaped praise on his former Liverpool teammate Alonso and predicted that Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong would love to reunite with their old Leverkusen boss. Pennant added that Slot has until the end of the season to get Liverpool back on track, otherwise a move could be made for Alonso. I'm sure he can bring that as well as a manager, and we saw that at Leverkusen. The tune he got out of those two, Wirtz and Frimpong, was quite amazing, and I'm sure Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong are now having little cheeky messages to one another. Oh look, Alonso's been sacked. I think Liverpool were interested in him when he was at Leverkusen, but he chose to go to Real Madrid. I think this puts a little bit more added pressure on Arne Slot, because I'm sure the board will be looking at this going, okay, our man is now available, who's probably our first choice. And now if things don't improve, this is just my personal opinion, I think that he, Slot, has got a problem until the end of the season to either turn this season around or to show the board why next season will be better. Liverpool reporter James Pearce insists that Slot has the backing of the board. They are sympathetic towards all the issues he has had to face. But our transfer correspondent Fraser Fletcher revealed 4 managers Liverpool hold interest in on January 9th. Well, first of all, I'm really surprised about the sacking, Pennant said on TalkSport about Alonso's Madrid departure. He's got the best win ratio in the last decade of managers that have been there, 71%. The next best one was Carlo Ancelotti in 2013. So the sacking is strange, but I'm quite pleased with it myself, because I would love to see him in that Liverpool dugout. When I played with him, he was just a magician. The IQ of the game, the way he reads the game. Liverpool news, Madrid star up for sale, Guehi blow. Meanwhile, Liverpool are on alert as Florentino Perez has reportedly decided to put 4 Madrid players up for sale. This has opened the door for Liverpool to snare a long-term target in an £80 million deal. The Reds have been heavily linked with Marc Guehi too, but have missed out on him to Manchester City.
News headline, Liverpool wonderkid confirms he models his game on a former cult hero. An exciting wonderkid at Liverpool has confirmed he models his game on a former cult hero. Georginio Wijnaldum probably doesn't get the appreciation he deserves at Anfield. There was a time when he was undoubtedly one of the club's most important players. You simply cannot deny that Wijnaldum played a huge role in winning the Champions League title, scoring a brace in that semi-final second leg at Anfield and then the league title as well. He was the beating heart of Liverpool's midfield, and in fairness, it took the club a while to replace him. What made Wijnaldum so good was that he provided energy in the midfield, and he was also blessed with a lot of technical elegance. He was hard to knock off the ball and was excellent in keeping possession for Liverpool. On top of that, he had the intelligence to make forward runs into the box and score goals regularly. He was simply exactly what you want from a box-to-box midfielder. Nobody since he left the club has done a better job in this position than him. That's why it's so exciting to hear a Liverpool wonderkid talking about modeling his game on the former Liverpool icon. Speaking to Liverpool's official website, Kyle Kelly confirmed that he looks up to Wijnaldum and tries to play like him. I'd say I can play 6, 8, or 10. I'd like to say I'm creative as well, try to create chances as well. I think someone like Gini Wijnaldum is someone I look up to, a bit versatile, can play anywhere, can do anything, Kelly said. I just want to reach my potential and try to get better in all aspects of my football, really. Only 20 years old, Kelly represented England at youth level, but has since become a senior international for St. Kitts and Nevis. He's in a bit of a unique position because not many players make their professional senior international debut before they had even made their debuts for their club side. Kelly has also been nursing an injury recently, but has come back into the U21s and has produced some exciting games since the return from his injury. His cameo against Chesterfield in the EFL Trophy, which saw Kelly assist Liverpool's equalizer and inspire the young Reds to a comeback, stands out in particular. But he also featured in a 1-1 draw with Wrexham that was played behind closed doors and made his first start of the season in the Premier League 2 in a 3-2 victory against Norwich last week. Kelly has bags of potential, and while he is on the older side, he could be a late bloomer and definitely a player to keep a close eye on in the coming months ahead. Liverpool's injury crisis could always give him an opportunity to make his mark.
News headline: Marc Guehi failure is embarrassing for Liverpool. Richard Hughes is playing with fire. Marc Guehi is set to join Manchester City just 4 months on from being on the verge of signing for Liverpool in what is a hugely embarrassing situation for the Reds. How on earth has Liverpool let Marc Guehi slip through its fingers? Just over 4 months ago, the defender was already underway with his medical. He was about to put pen to paper, and Crystal Palace had a farewell video ready to roll. Then, all of a sudden, the plug was pulled at the 11th hour. These things happen. At the very least, the Reds had an advantage. Guehi knew they wanted him, and by all accounts, he wanted a move to Anfield. The fact that he's now set to move to Manchester City is an embarrassment for the club. Let's get one thing clear. Liverpool needing a new center-back is not a new development. It has been the case for over a year now, perhaps even since Jurgen Klopp was still in charge. Yet, here we are watching the one player who should have been heading to Merseyside make his way to a direct rival instead. The whole situation has been handled horribly. Why it was left until deadline day to get a deal over the line for Guehi, considering Jarell Quansah had been offloaded 2 months beforehand, is baffling, and then Liverpool allowed Palace to dictate matters. By plenty of accounts, Oliver Glasner was a huge factor in the Eagles not letting Guehi go. The Austrian has now confirmed he'll be leaving Selhurst Park at the end of the season. What's more, he's revealed he told Palace chairman Steve Parish of his decision just a month after the rug was pulled out from under Liverpool. As Glasner himself has said this month, every club has its price, so why didn't Liverpool seemingly realize that? Palace is about to take around $20 million less than it would have gotten just a few months ago. Would it really have been too much to ask for the Reds to just bump up their bid a bit and leave Palace no other option? Or better yet, why not recognize that $27 million is still something of a bargain in January, especially after a summer in which extortionate amounts of money have been paid for players for whom the jury is still out? According to the Liverpool Echo, the club doesn't regard signing Guehi this month as a market opportunity compared to last September and this coming summer. That only raises more questions about the previous approach. Was it an attempt at a panic buy? And why does the club not see signing an international defender that is attracting interest from City, Bayern Munich, and Arsenal for nearly half the price as an opportunity? Richard Hughes got plenty of plaudits for his business in the summer, but he's playing with fire now. It looks more than likely that Arne Slot will be navigating the rest of the season with Premier League, Champions League, and FA Cup commitments to deal with just a 34-year-old Virgil van Dijk, an injury-prone Joe Gomez, and Ibrahima Konate, who might not even be here in a few months and isn't all that reliable injury-wise either. Slot has already had to change the way his side plays this season, taking a more defensive approach because his back four has been struggling. Imagine if either Van Dijk or Konate were to pick up an injury between now and the end of the season. What would the Liverpool boss do then? Signing Guehi was the obvious solution at a time when the Reds' season hangs in the balance, with a top-4 finish far from a certainty. To let him join City without so much as a fight is embarrassing, and Hughes & co. need to have something else up their sleeve.
Liverpool have missed out on signing Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace as rivals Manchester City have all but won the race. Liverpool target Marc Guehi will not be heading to Anfield this month, with the England international bound for Premier League rivals Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's side agreed a deal to sign the Crystal Palace star on Friday, with the Reds not opting to make another move after their £35 million deal with him collapsed on deadline day in the summer transfer window. It is arguably the biggest twist of the window so far. City had been linked with the Palace captain after suffering a number of injuries in their defense, while the Reds were ready to wait until the summer to sign him. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Bayern Munich had also expressed an interest in Guehi, alongside Arsenal. It is Man City who have won the race, and more details have since emerged on the makeup of the deal. Sky Sports Germany reporter Florian Plettenberg has reported the deal is worth up to £29 million, with £26 million up front and £3 million in add-ons. A medical is scheduled to happen in the coming days. Meanwhile, TalkSport reporter Alex Crook has revealed the player's massive salary, with City being able to convince Guehi to make the move with an insane contract offer. He said on X when updating on Guehi's move, Fee agreed £20 million plus add-ons, taking total deal to close to £30 million, wages of around £300,000 for Guehi. The defender will not play for Palace at the Stadium of Light on Saturday afternoon as they take on Sunderland. Manager Oliver Glasner revealed on Friday that Guehi was close to joining City. My latest understanding is that a deal with Marc is in the final stages. I can't confirm a club because it's still not done, but it's in the final stages. The result is that Marc doesn't play for us tomorrow. When the players want to move on, a deal will happen. It looks like it has happened now. Everyone wanted Marc to stay forever. I talked to him, of course. It stays between us. Marc showed it in the summer transfer window, showed it the whole autumn that he was 100% committed to the team and to Crystal Palace. I wish him all the best for the rest of his career. He is still at the beginning of his great career. He is a fantastic guy. His stance on Guehi's departure have changed dramatically since the summer. The Austrian pushed hard for Guehi to remain at the club, even after Liverpool had agreed a £35 million deal. Before the deadline day drama unfolded, Glasner said, "I told the chairman we have to keep Marc if we want to play a successful season. We have no chance to find the right replacement in one day. We all agreed that we just sell Marc if we have the right replacement in the building. We wanted a replacement by 1 July. It is 31 August and we have no replacement. We have this agreement, so it is clear from me. He is such a crucial player. He is one of our key players. He is our captain." Guehi will now no longer see out the season at Palace, and a replacement has not yet been signed by the London club. They do have more time compared to the summer, but the shift in attitude from the Eagles' boss has seen the Reds miss out.